Where's your coffee? I know it's not Good Works, but Duncan.
You got Good Works?
I did.
You stopped?
I stopped.
And you ain't telling me nothing.
Drip coffee.
Wild.
With a shot of white chocolate. Hitting.
Drip coffee.
Drip coffee. I'm not typical drip coffee kind of guy.
What are you? What's your typical
latte? White chocolate latte.
Bougie.
Or vanilla chai latte. Shot of espresso.
I haven't had it with the espresso.
With oat milk. It's like Avena in a cup.
So since you're a routine guy, when you go to Good Works Coffee House or at any morning stop at a coffee shop, what's your go-to?
My go-to would be, since we're talking about the Good Works, it would be a vanilla chai latte, shot of espresso, oat milk, Avena in a cup. Prior to that,
Avena in a cup.
Prior to that's oatmeal. Prior to that, it was white chocolate latte.
Just you just order
chocolate,
like that?
White chocolate latte.
Nothing
chocolate.
else? Like no pastry?
No pastry. Oh, the bacon, egg, and cheese with the fresh mozzarella hits me.
Fresh mozzarella is always.
Fresh mozzarella hits. And you put it in a patelon. You put me onto that.
It just hits. It's different. A game changer.
It's a huge.
Shout out to my Italian. Guys, welcome to another episode of the Winners Podcast. I'm joined today by my lovely co-host, Zach.
What's up?
And today we have a special guest. This person's very quiet. But the surprise is that we don't have a guest. It's just us today.
Just us.
So we got a little bit of feedback from a faithful viewer. Faithful viewer. Shout out to my boy, Mr. Magnon. Is that how you pronounce his last name?
I don't know. It's a good question. Maybe we should have asked before we said it.
Nah, I'm just asking right here on the podcast.
AKA Steph.
Yo, Steph. Did I pronounce your last name properly? Put in the comments. Engagement. So Steph hit us up. He was like, listen, I love the podcast. Like what you guys doing, but I want to see more of you guys. More banter between you guys. Well, you know what? Let's try it.
Give him what he wants.
Let's try it. Why not? And then maybe next week it'll be us again. Maybe the following week will be a guest. But the goal is to provide value today.
Value.
So how do we provide value? Who knows? We'll talk about it.
We're talking about some resources that we use to be successful as. You're an entrepreneur. Am I technically an entrepreneur? Because I don't know.
You're like in a.
I'm like in the middle.
You're like in the flex area. That's what I'm gonna call it. Because technically, you're not, but you kind of are because of the way you run your business.
Yeah, like I don't have to. Well, technically, I can tell like Daryl, my branch manager, like, hey, I'm not gonna come in today, like the office, but I work from home. Yeah, I just feel like I think it's just level of accountability.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be like, you need to come in the office because it's not how it works. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm an entrepreneur.
I think with the type of work that you do, there's a parallel. So you're self-employed.
Yeah.
You're under an umbrella, but you're responsible for your business, for your schedule, for your numbers.
Yeah.
Yes, you have, you have your boss, you have, the
hierarchy
or the organizational chart.
That was tough. Take a sip of coffee.
The organizational chart.
That was tough. That was wow.
So you still have the organizational chart, but every day you're in charge of your schedule. Yeah. You're with your clients, and you're probably just doing a weekly check-in.
Yeah, for sure. And like, there's days that I don't want to go in the office, and I don't want to work. I think it happened. It's crazy because like when I transitioned from like being in the finance, like the BMW doing that finance major, I was like a slave to the job. Like, so now that I have the opportunity to be super flexible, like I take full advantage of it. I love it. The fact that I like Tuesday, I was like, let's go to the Big E. Let's do it. And just went to Big E.
So let me ask you this. Do you find yourself working more because you have flexibility?
Yes. Awkward times too. Like yesterday I went car shopping with a friend. And then I went home I got home at like 8 and I just jumped on my computer. I was like looking at a pre-approval, getting someone pre-approved.
It gets you.
And my wife, Alicia, was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm working. I'm like, you were working all day? I'm like, technically, no. So I just banged out some things, took 2 hours, and then I was free.
So my mentality before when I had a regular day job was I'm gonna try to do the least amount of work possible within my scheduled shift. When I was a rep at AT&T, I was the rep that would gloat about getting paid to use the bathroom. I was that guy. I was like, I'm sitting in the toilet for 25 minutes. I got paid to poop. I was that guy.
That's funny.
When I was a rep. When I transitioned to manager, I was like, now I'm responsible.
You can't take 25 minutes.
People are looking up to me. I got to be there early. On time is late. The typical managerial conversations.
Yeah.
But then I went into self-employment, and I'm working hard.
Yeah.
Like hours. Especially me being a night owl, I can work easily to 3 a.m. without a sweat.
That's crazy.
Wake up early. I did it last week. Like 3 nights in a row. I went to bed at 2:30, 3 a.m. Woke up at 7:30. Get the day going. And it's crazy, but I love it.
That's so interesting to me. Like I think we talked about this before, that the fact that like you're because you're editing by yourself. I couldn't do that. I couldn't just be by myself in a room doing something for like 8 hours at a time. Like, how do you? I guess I can't say that word.
Try it. Take a swig of coffee first, and then try it. The words are beating the brakes off of us.
I'm not gonna say it.
Compartmentalize.
Yes. You can't say it either.
I'm gonna Google the actual
There's another word that I can't say. But that has nothing.
I don't even know how to spell it.
Compartmentalize.
We know what we're saying.
That word. You guys know. Come on now.
There we go.
Not gonna have a struggle through it for 5 minutes. So how do you do that word? Because you're by yourself and not to go crazy. I feel like I would go crazy. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense. But because of the type of work that I'm doing, it's easy to do. Specifically when I'm editing video, I get so in the zone.
Yeah.
Because so many little things take time, are tedious.
Yeah.
I can spend 45 minutes on a clip that's going to be 1 second long in the video.
That sounds crazy. Is that because you're like color matching and like
all of it,
all that fun stuff?
Yeah. So I have a workflow of how I do it, but each step takes time.
Got it.
The one that takes is like the fine tuning of the effects and stuff. So I can literally go in there. So I was working on a project yesterday that I wanted to switch each frame in the video. So for reference, video is made out of hundreds of picture frames just synchronized. Mm-hmm. So when you typically see a video, it's either in 24 frames a second, 30 or 60 frames a second. So what that means is, since I wanted a different frame for each second, I was recording a video that was in 24 frames per second timeline. So that means that there's 24 frames in each second of the video.
Wow.
So I was editing a clip that was 8 seconds long.
Got it.
24 times 8. So I had to edit each clip individually.
How long did that take you?
Hours.
Really? 8 seconds?
Yeah, because it was something creative that I wanted to do. So it's outside of the norm of like stitching a video together. I was making something.
Mm.
So I'll be posting it next week, but it took mad long.
That's cool.
The video itself though is only 8 seconds. The whole thing.
Got it.
Took me hours to edit it.
Wow. So like,
and it'll probably only get like 45 likes.
So that's wild, right? To think about the fact that you're taking that much time to. So when you go into a meeting with a potential client and you give them your price and they're like, they don't understand the fact that it took you hours to edit an 8-second video. Like, so how do you in your business kind of build value in the work that you do so that when you present 5K, 10K for whatever you're doing, like, and you say it confidently, like knowing that you can get it, like you're going to get it done, obviously.
Yeah. So before I even get into that, I educate them on what it looks like.
Yeah.
So I'll show them a video, an example. Say, hey, So before we get into what your budget looks like, let me show you a couple of examples of work that I do. And I'll show them things in 3 different categories. Something in a lower budget, medium, and like your mind.
8 seconds, 1,000,000 hours.
Yeah. So something that can be very creative.
Yeah.
And I'll let them know, hey, so this 30-second video, something like this, and I don't say it in a salesy way. It comes up conversations like, oh yeah, that took me hours.
Yeah.
So I'm planting little seeds. Oh yeah, you see this little 1-second clip? That surprisingly took me 3 hours just to edit that one clip.
Yeah.
And I don't do it in a sales way. As we're just talking, because sometimes some people will see a clip. Oh, that was a cool shot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we'll talk about it in person.
Yeah.
Already people know that it takes a long time for video.
Yeah.
To edit it. But it's just having that conversation throughout the conversation itself.
Yeah, I get it.
Of the work that goes into it. And that's every client. So weddings, video, photography. And I have to make sure that I do that because for me, it's another day in the office. Like for me, when I'm editing a video, I know I'm going to sit there for 3 hours.
Yeah.
For the other person, they're just seeing the final video. They're just seeing 30 seconds. So there's a big disconnect. So it's all a conversation that happens early.
Yeah, because it's just trying to build value in the fact that you take your art, because what you do for work is art, but it's also your business. Like what you take for your art, for your business seriously, and there's value in it, and being able to express the value so that when you give that price, you're like, okay, you're confident in the fact that you're going to provide great value, and also the fact that like I'm good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're good at what you do. So that's cool. That's interesting.
I think it also, so another thing that I've been kind of, I want to say wrestle with, or the idea of it. So I'm starting to get into more detailed videos. I'm getting bored of the work that I've been doing, which is crazy. Most of the work I do is corporate work. So it's cookie cutter. It's straightforward. I use real estate photography.
Yeah.
Every house is the same. It's either a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom.
Got it.
Some houses are a little bit different. Some are nicer, but the shell of it is the same. I'm going to go shoot a living room, a kitchen, a bedroom, and a bathroom, and a basement sometimes. So that can get boring. So now what I'm doing, I want to offer my creativity. So it's like, okay, I want to reimagine of what in this area social media looks like, social media marketing. I don't know what that looks like yet. So that's something that I'm experimenting myself.
Yeah.
To hopefully provide that to the community.
Change is an interesting concept, right? For people, especially in our area. Like being able to say, hey, this is how we do business, and this is how we've been doing business forever. I'm not going to change it. So like, hey, this is a new concept, a new creative way of doing it, the way that we do business. And being able to provide that value to people and be able to say, hey, let's try it this way. Like, I know you've been doing it this way and it works. What if you can get better results doing it this way? Just being able to, I feel like it's super hard to do that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you're taking risk. You're taking risk of stepping outside of the norm and doing your own thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes in your mind it may work. Sometimes you got to adjust and change it for it to work for you. But it's a scary situation. But with that risk comes a lot of reward.
Yeah.
So when you think of people that innovate, you think of like the Mark Zuckerbergs, the Steve Bezos. That's his name? No, Jeff Bezos. Steve Jobs. Look at that.
They merged it. We're struggling with words today.
Apple, Amazon together. Anyways, when you think of them,
Appazon.
That's what I was thinking. So when you think of those pioneers, and obviously everyone talks about the same people, but when you think about when they started their journey, it was something completely outside of the box.
Yeah.
When Jeff Bezos started, the idea of having books online for you to read wasn't normal. What Steve Jobs was doing to reinventing the technology that was out there, it wasn't normal. Yeah. But look where they are now in life.
True.
And that's like rest in peace, Steve Jobs. Look where their companies are in life. That it paid off. It paid off in a way that they're millionaires. I say that all to say maybe your idea or our ideas are not going to make us millionaires.
Yeah.
But maybe they will.
Yeah. And that's true. That's good, man. And the concept of like the good book says, the Bible says, there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
So the idea of people saying, oh, they stole my idea, or they took what I was doing and made it theirs. Like, there's nothing new under the sun. Yeah. So we all have eyes, plagiarize. And that's okay. Like, to be able to, I find value. I'll give you an example. I do videos. I'm not you by any means. I record videos. I provide content for first-time home buyers or home buyers in general. I just give them tools with my videos. And I found myself in that, in a point where I'm like, all right, I feel like it's not all my ideas, right? I find something cool somewhere here and I find something cool and I kind of merge it together. And just being able to say, man, like, you're going to say something completely different than, we can say the same things, it's just going to sound different. Yeah. And that's okay, right? So just being able to be comfortable in that and understand the fact that, like, maybe my content's similar to someone else's, but he doesn't talk or she doesn't talk the way that I talk, and my audience is different than their audience, and being okay with that. Like, I'm cool with if someone would take one of my videos that I made and record the same video. I'm okay with that because I'm like, we're providing value to people and it's going to sound different. Right. So I'm cool with that. Where other people aren't.
No, other people, no. But that comes into, you have to reimagine yourself. So one of the benefits of working by myself and being, isolated for a few hours, I'm very retrospective, and I like to think of my processes and the reason why I do things. So one of the things I ask myself, what sets me apart from every videographer? Like right now, the way technology is moving, everyone has access to the same tools that I have.
Yeah.
So when I realized that clients don't really understand the difference of like camera quality, someone can look at a video and be like, that's a nice video, quality wise.
Yeah.
But I also seen clients that don't know the difference between a video and a slideshow. So there's a vast, like,
no way, really?
Yeah. So I had to ask myself, my whole thing the whole time is like, oh, I have good quality. I have, the best cameras. I have this and that. Who stops you from buying the same equipment that I do? Like, you can spend whatever amount of money and buy the same cameras that I do. It doesn't matter. So what I'm saying is, if everyone has the same thing that I do, what's the difference that I bring to the table? And it's my mind. So that's why I'm experimenting like these different avenues of video.
You're experimenting creatively.
Yes. Because before it was creative, but it wasn't as creative as I imagine it to be.
Yeah. You feel like it's becoming monotonous, right?
Yes. Yeah. Which is not bad.
No.
Which is not bad because you still need kind of the structure, the stuff. But I'm excited to like dabble in. I'm excited for someone to call me and say, hey, I like this concept of video. Can we sit down and talk about something for this project? I'll love it. All right, let's do it. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Let's collaborate together and come up with something that's out of this world.
Yeah. What are some of the tools that you use to make what you do easier?
So one thing I want to talk about today, AI. The way AI is taking over the world.
Game changer.
It's a game changer, man. You mentioned something earlier. You said the marrying of ideas.
Yeah.
And I think people who marry the adaptation of AI early on would reap the benefits early on compared to compared to the late adapters.
Yeah.
Right now, there's so many tools out there that help you.
Yeah.
ChatGPT, for example.
Yeah, it's powerful, especially if you're in real estate.
Yeah.
Like, how many times do you find yourself on MLS? You have a listing and trying to come up with a listing description and try to be creative, eye-catching, modern, exciting, right? Where you can use ChatGPT or Google Bard, all the other different things, and say, hey, create a listing description for this property based in this area. The key components is XYZ, modern tone. You can be so specific. What is it? 250 words is the max for MLS, or 300 words, something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
I think I don't know.
And you can be that specific.
And 1,000.
Yeah, 1,000. I'm way off, right? 250 words. That's like a little bit of work. That's like Springfield, Mass. Here you go.
Yeah.
Up
and coming neighborhood.
Right. So you could do that, and then it'll create something, and you have a listen description.
Yeah.
And if you don't like exactly how it sounds, you can have a regenerate a response, or you can change up words, make it sound more like you. So it's such a powerful tool.
So the way I look at it, some people use ChatGPT as like the answer to. So they'll take listen description, copy paste.
Yeah.
No, don't do it. Yeah. Don't do it that way. It's the idea of marrying the two.
Yeah.
How can I use ChatGPT to not make me sound better, but to enhance what I'm saying?
Man, I use it for emails too sometimes.
What do you mean?
So like, I get I'm saying an email. I don't know. Like I have like a brain fart. Like I don't know exactly how to express myself. So I'll generate the email the best I can. Then I literally write, hey, not hey, ChatGPT create.
You definitely say hey.
Yeah, I do sometimes. And it'll generate an email response, and I just copy, paste, edit some things, and just use it. And I do it pretty often. I find it easier than to like come up with. It
frees up some of like your mental bandwidth.
Yeah,
because like, sometimes finding the right things to say is like,
yeah,
how do I write this in a way that is not like you have to? I don't want it to be too aggressive. I don't want it to be too formal.
Because like text messages, emails can come across as kind of aggressive or like very dry. So how do I make it a little more engaging and more like a different approach? So because I'm very straight to the point. When I communicate, when I text, I'm very dry.
Yeah.
When I text and email, so like I want to make it not dry.
Let me ask you a question. This is completely off. I want to get back into the AI stuff, but this is something completely random that I want to ask someone, and maybe in the comments someone can comment too. When sending emails, is it okay to start using text abbreviations and emojis in emails? Are we there yet?
I don't think we're there yet.
Because I don't do it, but sometimes I'll get an email and there's like a smiley, and I don't care about it, like whatever. But has it become common practice now for people to put like smiley faces, LOLs, and stuff like that in emails?
I don't want to say it's common, but people are doing it. And I think it depends on the context of the conversation and who you're speaking to. And for me, I wouldn't throw out an emoji in an email unless someone throws out the emoji first. Does that make sense?
Like if I was emailing you, I'll probably throw LOL and stuff because we have a different relationship.
It's different. But I mean like so for example, in our office, like I'm working with an underwriter or an appraiser or whatever the case may be, I would do it in that context if we're joking around.
Okay.
Right? But if I'm sending an email to a client for the first time, I'm not going to put like a smiley
not the first
face.
I'm talking about like a back and forth.
Yeah. I think it depends on the relationship. It depends on the context of the conversation.
Yeah. Because when I worked at Liberty Mutual, I used to have to be in contact with different people within the organization. Sometimes I'll hit it like an underwriter or something. Yeah. I don't necessarily know them, but we work for the same company.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll put a little LOL.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, let me delete it because this is the email.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a common practice anymore. What are you guys doing? I don't know. Curious.
That's a good question.
But back to the AI stuff. So a few weeks ago, I was asked to do a presentation at a company, a real estate company. And I was excited for it. I knew what I wanted to talk about, but I sat down and I was like, how can I structure it in a way that I'm just not blabbering in like word vomit? So I went to ChatGPT. I was like, hey, can you create an outline for a presentation, for a 30-minute presentation? So it gave me an outline.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
How good was it though? It was shaky.
It wasn't what I wanted to give. So my approach, the approach that I wanted to give, it gave a good presentation. It's very to the point.
Yeah.
You know, the power of real estate. I'm like, nah, that's not the way I want to do it. So I deleted all the stuff, and the structure it gave me was like, start with an intro, start with this. I'm like, okay. So then I started typing in my stuff. So I knew what I wanted to talk about. So then I went to ChatGPT. I was like, give me 3 examples of XYZ. Gave me 3. I'm like, okay. So then I was like, okay, let me rewrite this. So then I used ChatGPT collaboratively. Dang, these words are beating us up. I used ChatGPT collaboratively to create my presentation. But then I took it a step further.
Yeah.
I downloaded a program I went to a website called Beautiful AI. And what it does, it creates slideshow presentations for you
Wow.
using AI.
That's cool.
I'm like, okay.
Did you use it?
I did.
Wow.
So it's a subscription based. So I did it. But what it does, it has thousands of templates of different presentation decks. Any style you want. Think of Canva, but it does the work for you, kind of.
Yeah.
Like it'll give you the outline template, the transitions. You type in the bullet points.
So cool.
I exported it to Apple Keynote to do my presentation. Done.
How much is it?
I don't remember.
I
think it was like $10 a month.
That's not bad. That's pretty cool though. It's like to be instead of using like PowerPoint, which is kind of
it is PowerPoint, but with AI. And what does it mean? So it has different categories of the templates you want, and then you can search for different pictures. You can search for different.
That's cool.
Things that you want to show.
Yeah. You
can upload your own. So I uploaded my own pictures, obviously. But I would have spent hours creating the template that I wanted.
Got it.
Because I want it to look nice.
Yeah.
I'm a photography company. I can't.
Can't be mediocre.
I can't have it look all foo-foo.
I get it.
Oh, well.
That's cool.
So I did it. I saved it. And that's going to be my presentation every time I go out.
What was the response?
It was really good, man. That's one of the other things that, remember I said some people don't know the difference in slideshow in a video?
Yeah.
Not these people. They knew what it was. But it was because I knew that. I was like, let me go back and show them like basics of what this looks like.
Yeah.
And it was good.
That's awesome. How many people did you present to?
25.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. You had a good turnout.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was good. Everyone's excited. They gave me coffee. And I created some content.
Coffee.
I love coffee.
Coffee's great.
So we spoke about ChatGPT, beautiful AI. You use any other AI products?
Google Bard. I think it's
What
Bard.
is that?
BARD. It's the same thing. It's like ChatGPT, but Google's ChatGPT kind of formula or format. It's the same exact concept. It's just different. It has like a different generates different responses.
Yeah, I haven't looked into it.
It's pretty cool. It's easy. Just use your Google account.
I'm excited for the adaptation of AI. I'm kind of excited about it. How I was excited about the normalization of like Zoom and video calls.
Yeah.
I feel like it's slow. People are adapting it.
Yeah.
But it's so early on that it's so new.
Yeah.
Once people get a grasp of it, I'm excited of where it goes. Because the way AI works, it learns from its users.
Yep.
So
ChatGPT specifically has only had knowledge up to 2021.
If you pay for it, you have access to 2022, I think, or 23.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
If you pay for the
subscription.
I think it's
what is
like
it, like 4.0? Yeah, 4.0.
Well, guys, I think it's time to gingerly land the plane. I think this has been cool.
Yeah, man. I liked it.
We're kind of freestyling.
Yeah.
We talked about some cool things. Talk about AI.
We talked about
creativity.
Yeah, we talked about
coffee.
Lawyers.
Tools.
Words beat the brakes off of us.
Man, words are hard today. But hopefully we provided some value. There's a lot of tools out there for people to use to expand their knowledge, their business, to make things easier. So really there's no excuse for people to be successful in 2023. That's a little harsh.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been easier to manage and run your business than it is in 2023.
I would agree.
It's still going to be hard regardless.
Yeah, but you have so many resources and tools available to you that you can do it.
Yes. Yeah.
That's tools and technology. That's not people and resources, those kind of resources. That's another.
Finding a way to marry the two
is where you can be successful.
Is where the innovation comes. Mm. And we want you to be innovators. We want everyone to be winners. But guys, it's been fun. Let us know in the comments what you guys think about this style of video. Just us two. We still want to have guests because that is what this podcast is about.
Yep.
But we want to try this out. For Steph, this is for you, boy.
For you, man.
Peace.
Good one.